So you have to understand the difference between ashram and Auroville. They are two, origin is same, but they are two different approaches. So ashram has been made for those who have complete faith in Mother and Sri Aurobindo, who automatically have this surrender, devotion. It comes spontaneously, which is primarily a rich inheritance for the Indians. Very naturally we see God and we fold our hands. It's something inbuilt. We drink it with mother's milk. But the Western psyche has evolved along different lines. It is not because it's good or bad. They discarded religion because Christianity is lost its way back. Almost within 100 years of Christ's coming, it lost its way. Because it was one man show. In India, you had constantly the gurus, the new avatars. So India kept alive the spiritual impulse, but both Islam and Christianity lost its way because it didn't allow for that change and regeneration which is required. So what happened is that at some point the church and the science, they were at loggerheads with each other. So many of the people in the West, many of the churches, you would be knowing actually, go empty. There is a problem, even a cash crunch. Because most of the youngsters don't believe. The problem now is that they don't have a way, they don't have a path, they don't have an approach. So technically they say they are Christian, they celebrate Christmas, but the rest is all party and fun. Because there is that base is taken away and there is nothing to replace it. So many of them are, however, seeking for something new, greater. After all, like any human being, the psychic being is, or the psychic seed is in all. But it's very difficult for a Western mind typically to accept things like surrender. Partly because there is a lot of mental arrogance that the mind knows, mind can solve. But they cannot be excluded because of this. So when they come here, Mother specifically gave a very different kind of instructions in Auroville. So you have a Matri Mandir without anything of the Mother. But consciousness of Mother is there. It's a very powerful place, very, very powerful. But Mother particularly, she didn't want many signs. Here, wherever you go, everywhere you have Mother, Mother, Mother. But there, it was because that Western mind cannot very naturally connect with that. It connects with sitting in that impersonal space, and that it can connect with. But that personal aspect of the divine in a form is very difficult. So, but you need a form. You need a symbol. Human mind cannot conceive of something which is beyond itself, abstract. So therefore, they have symbols which are more universal and more secular, so to say. So you have fire. Fire is a very ancient symbol. The Vedic rishis, the Persians, mystics, many mystics, they worshipped fire as a symbol of the divine. And why do they worship fire as the symbol of the divine? Now comes a very interesting thing. After all, there has to be something as a symbol which represents the divine. Why not smoke? Why fire? Now if you look at fire, fire has these two qualities. Light and heat. So it gives light. What does light do? Scattered darkness shows the way. What does heat do? Heat refines, purifies, uplifts, burns, consumes. And it's an energy that pushes you forward. Fundamentally. So what is the divine? On one side, he has the knowledge which shows us the way. And he is also the power, the will that moves us forward. That refines us. If you put anything in fire, all the dross will be consumed. And whatever comes out eventually is purified aspect of whatever you have thrown in. That's why they use the word test of fire. Iron changes into steel, gold changes into pure gold, all the dross is gone. So fire is a very beautiful, apt representation of the divine. And there is a subtle fire. You can actually see the divine as fire inside you. So it's not just an image used just like that. And when you go to the root of the word, in Hindi at least, Sanskrit, it is, the word for fire is Agni. And if you go to the root, it comes from the root Ag. Ag means move forward. Age. In many Russian it is Agun. I think in certain other languages also, Latin, the roots come to that. So Agni, even the name, is something which pushes you forward to excel yourself, to help you progress. And if somebody does not progress, that means this fire is missing. We also use this word. Where is the fire? So it's given to progress, and many things open from that. When the fire grows dim, how does it grow dim? When we are chasing pleasures, it grows dim. When we are in comfort zone, seeking pleasure and comfort. When we are busy with money, saris and suits, and because what is happening now, the urge for progress is gone in the background. One is busy not progressing. Progress means learning new things, new ways, new modes of being. But it's gone into only accumulating outer things. So in general you will see that people who are very busy only gathering outer things, the fire gets dim and they become very depressed. Why? Because they are not progressing. So Mother puts it very beautifully. The goal of life is not to be happy. The goal of life is to progress. And if you progress, you will be happy. Because you are fulfilling life's purpose. And if you don't progress, you may have 101 things, you will somewhere feel empty, you will feel bored, you will feel something is missing, and you can't pinpoint, so you rush to some other object, maybe this will give me happiness, again you get sick and tired. So there is a progressive depression. Then you run from that extreme depression. Where do you run? Parties, phone a friend, all kinds of things one does. But again you don't get, so most, if you look at the way the external outward seeking life, it's full of depression with antidepressants, pleasure objects, gadgets. But how long? But if you have the constant fire burning inside, constant progress, then life becomes fascinating. That's why the mother says, Sri Aurobindo says, this is the only way to keep an unfailing interest in life. The urge to progress. So the fire is a symbol of that. It's a beautiful symbol. Okay. Thank you so much. Jai Ma.